the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Welcome everybody to another episode of This is CorbinCenter. Oh, we do have a lot to talk about. I feel like nothing is slowing down, but that's just how it goes when you are the loudmouth mercenary. But let's get right to the recognitions part here. This one goes out to Alex. Alex, thank you. Your amazing smash burgers in Des Moines more than fulfilled me. I mean, you were so generous in making sure that the crew was taken care of. And not only were you like, we got you. I know that it might seem like a easy way to get into recognition is by getting me food. I always said the easiest way to have a friend for life is by that. So I got to give you credit on this one. But not only did I have one of your smash burgers, I had that. I had to fight Foodacoma on the way home because they were so delicious. I would love to do it again. But I'll tie back into this as we go. So let's jump right into it, shall we? We had another busy weekend, and again, I feel like I just got back from my long stretch of shows, and now I have a busy weekend as I head down to Iowa for two events. And Iowa's an old stomping grounds of mine, but not this place. This place, Decorah, Iowa. Not when I typed in the GPS and I saw where it goes, I kind of looked at this and I thought to myself, really? This off the beaten path a little bit? You know, they call it God's country, or at least Connor Hopkins does, and I still think he's a liar for this. But in my mind, I was like, if there was God's country, unless he's got a sixth sense of humor, he's not building it right on the corner of Iowa, right under Minnesota. He could have moved it up 20 miles and at least put it in a decent state. So, I feel like this was a cruel joke, or maybe it's one of those deals where maybe whatever religion they follow or whatever God they follow, they've been lied to. But I realize that not a lot of people get out of this town, which is what I saw when they cheered for Connor Hopkins the moment he came out. Now, yes, it's me versus Connor Hopkins. And as you know, we have a big showdown coming up, a dog collar match for my breakout championship, who I beat Connor Hopkins, whose tooth I broke. And I didn't break your teeth this time, so consider yourself lucky. But also, you won this match. Now, I could sit there and I could, I could let this eat me away. But the difference is you may have won. You may got to celebrate with all your hometown crowd. I mean, even when we went to your place, this little bar that is familiar with you, it was like the whole town fit into one bar. And I assume that's what they do. Maybe if this is God's country, that's their church. And that's sad if that's all they have to look forward to. And that's all you got to look forward to. But I knew that I could leave that town and I could go back to Minnesota. And when you come up into my state, you're not going to be lucky next time. No. So, you know what? Congratulations. Let's give you credit for one, scoring a victory over me, and two, keeping all your teeth in check. So, nice job. Very good. The next night was Des Moines. Now, I said I've been to my old stomping grounds here. Des Moines, Iowa. As you know, the success of the North Star Express. Are we still, hey, if anyone here from 3XW is watching this, are we still the longest reigning tag team champions? I mean, we had a hell of a reign back there, and that's kind of where I made my mark is in Des Moines. And I wrestled regularly in this area all for years. Now, it might be a little sporadic, and I honestly can't even remember what the last time I wrestled like in Des Moines was, but I've been there for, different promotions, different incarnations of promotions. So this was kind of a familiar trip, but again, leaving Decorah to get to Des Moines, you couldn't have any more back-ass ways to get to a town. I mean, come on. Big shout out to Cultaholic Podcast, though. I mean, thank you for your material, allowing me to, stay awake because I had to leave at 8 in the morning to get here because there's no easy way to get out of Decorah because that's how they keep you there. But anyway, again, thank you. I was able to listen to your podcast, except when there was no reception because apparently in God's country they don't know about cell phones all that much. But off to Des Moines. Nice warm day. This time, look, I learned a lesson from this past time, and I'm going to share this with you, or if you're fair-skinned like me, there's a couple things that you got to do, and you got to protect yourself from the sun. So I got this cool bucket hat that I could, wet and wring out, and then it keeps you cool. And then I got these little neck cooler things that they're just like a material, like a little chamois type deal, and you put it around and it stays nice and cool. Because if you know, at Taste of Minnesota, wrestling in a heat advisory, I took my tank top, put it around my neck, was able to keep cool. I looked like I was doused in water, which is fair. I didn't get that sunburn, which is, this year is, I'm not trying to jinx it, but this year's been pretty good. I mean, like, normally my biggest battles all summer long are none of my matches. They're actually the sun. That's huge. But this one, I was staying cool. I was ready for this. I played a little game of cornhole or bags or whatever you want to call it. Got to have an all-you-can-eat. I mean, I got a big shout. Look at this. This was a great food week, and I got to give a big shout-out to Lua Brewing for all their hospitality. This was wonderful. Thank you for taking such good care of us. And I also scored the victory over Jordan. Now, I got to give Jordan credit. One hell of a competitor. One of the toughest guys I've ever been in the ring with. Also would go on to have a great match with Brian Keith. But I pulled off the victory. And, again, some people don't like the way I win. I was getting called Steve the Pirate all the time. I got booed because I use any resource that's available to me. And I did again. And if anything, the biggest crime that happened in Des Moines that night was how many people were all about the possum. I mean, come on. There was a line of people wanting to get all possum merchandise, and if that sums up a town, when you want to get items from an animal that eats out of your garbage, I mean, you're buying garbage from garbage eating animals. So whatever, it's fair. And I'm just sitting there looking at everybody. But I mean, again, Grant, I got to give you a shout out. I was actually thinking about giving you the recognition too, but you bought me that drink. We talked a little bit at the show, so it's always good when I get to meet new fans. That's I really do enjoy that. I truly do. Because I know that it doesn't take much for me to win over people. That's why you're all here watching this. That's why you all here support me. But I wasn't even done, even though I thought I was going to be done, because I left and I drove that drive home. And these are memories of being a pro wrestler. I used to do this drive all the time. Like I said, this was old stomping grounds for me. That drive straight up 35, heading home, brought back a lot of memories from when I would be on the road, trying to make a name for myself, going from town to town. And this time around, I'm getting a little smarter. I'm paying attention, grabbing some, iced coffee shakes, and then also got some blackberry lemonade from Quick Trip. So, I prepped myself a little bit. And when I got here, when I got back home, I crashed. But there is no rest for the wicked, because we're going to the Uptown VFW. Headed to the Uptown VFW where, let's get into this here really quick. First of all, let's get into this. Let's talk about exactly what happened. First question, why did you attack Effie? Plain and simple. Do you think that I'm going to just let Effie walk in to First Wrestling? I have a permanent scar. No matter where you go, Effie, wherever we are, and especially when you come into my home turf, we are never, ever done. Just know that. And you took it personal. And you challenged my buddy Laura and I to a hardcore tag team match at Bauhaus. Well, here's what I say to that. Bring it on. We've made each other bleed a lot. We've never had a match that's had rules, really, when it comes to you and I. We've bled at Bauhaus before. Bring it on. So, brings me to my match. Now, do you think I'm done with Devon Monroe? No. I want a rematch. I want my championship. Just because he scored the biggest victory of his career does not mean that I am done. Does not mean that I take my eyes off the top prize at First Wrestling. And it also does not take anything away from me that I had a nearly year-long reign and I am the only Triple Crown winner at First Wrestling. So when I came out there and Devon Monroe decided to interrupt me, and I always have lore watching my back. And apparently you had your friend Darius Martin. And the crowd loves Top Flight, don't they? Isn't it such a great story? The hometown boy goes and signs a big contract with AEW. They scored wins over the Young Bucks. They're our guys. Isn't that so great? Everyone should be proud of them. Well, here's the deal. I don't need a contract to know my worth. And that's great for you. But honestly, have you really been getting the mileage out of that contract? Have you really been worth Tony's money? I mean, you've been on the injured reserve list quite a long time. Hey, don't get me wrong. I would love to sit at home collecting a paycheck like your brother's doing right now. But, you know, it's amusing because you kind of got lucky. You were in there with two bruisers and you managed to survive. The match, you won. That's great. That's awesome. So because Dark and Elevation aren't around anymore, so what are you going to do now? Cool. Have fun trying to wrestle with whoever you want on Ring of Honor. I mean, that good for you. Go back there. Form makeshift teams till your brother comes back. You got this. You got this all taken care of. Yeah. But we got to take, when it was all said and done, the best picture in the history of First Wrestling was taken. And it sums up my career pretty much in one photo. How beloved I am from everybody at First Wrestling. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. And even in one picture, you can tell that I genuinely evoke more emotion than anybody on that roster. So, if you want to figure out if I do indeed back up my words, let's check out my upcoming schedule, shall we? I got one free-range Kara at St. Paul Park. Not going to say that I'm trying to avenge a loss, but just be ready, Kara. And then we go to Prize Bring. It's free. It's free. Do I have to repeat it again? It's free. Come on out. Come on. Check it out. Check it out. Come on. Whatever. Bring your own chair. Come and see me beat up somebody. Come boo. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Try some beer, I guess. Whatever. It's the only thing you got to look forward to in your life. Then, I know I'm being mysterious about this, and I'm sorry. I just can't share with the general public yet. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve that insider information. Patreons, you might get it. Just FYI. But when I get back, it's going to be busy. I'm going up to Time Bomb, the St. Paul Slammer, a dog collar match that I mentioned, now a hardcore tag. Everybody wants a piece of me, and apparently everybody wants my blood dropped on every single mat. That's in every single ring in Minnesota. So we have that going for me. And then I come to the 1029 bar, and I'm thinking of two things. One, defending my 1029 championship, and two, lobster roll, because I love the food. And I would be hard-pressed to say that I am looking forward to a return to freelance. But also, we got the Mall of America coming up, and we're doing it again. You know, the success, a lot of times when you talk to anybody who's at the Mall of America, who's in the execs in the office, they always say that because of me stealing the show, that's the reason why I won over all the main office. And so that's why we're back again. So you can thank me. So for everyone who wants to boo me, just realize that the big opportunities at First Wrestling is all because of me. So if you think it's Top Flight, or if you think it's Devon Monroe, your current champion, or if you think it's Eric Cannon, it's this guy. So how about you stay tuned for more CorbinCenter, because we're not slowing down this summer. We got a lot to talk about, don't we?